Hi guys, in today's video I want to talk about being an empath in this planet and the feeling of how overwhelming it can feel at times, and how you can feel like sometimes that you just don't belong. So yeah, let's get started. So as you can already tell, yes, I'm an empath and I have always been all my life, and in just the recent years I feel like life has just been feeling a lot more difficult with everything that's going around. It just feels a lot more overwhelming than it was in my childhood, and I think if you're an empath and if you're sensitive, you're probably feeling the same way. So do you feel like with everything that's happening in the world, just do you feel like the world is a bit more crazy than usual? I mean, for me, I am a 90s kid. I was born in the late 90s, so my childhood was spent in the early 2000s era, where everything was still like, growing up, things were still not ideal, but I feel like the world was a lot more slower, and the world was, I don't know, a lot more peaceful and a lot more friendlier and just less crazy than it is now. I feel like in the last few years, probably starting around 2020, things started feeling a bit different. And if you are an empath, then you know that you feel things a lot more than the average person does. So if something is happening in the world that is a bit disturbing, then you will definitely feel it first, and you will not know, you won't exactly know how to relate to it, because it might not really affect you or your life directly, but you are going to feel that, those emotions, the heaviness, you're going to feel that in your emotions and in your energy. So I think that's one of the downsides of being an empath, but there are so many upsides. So yeah, I guess it balances out. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like these last few years have been really crazy. I mean, there feels like there's a shift happening in this world right now, and there's a lot more upheaval. Things are a lot more out of order. There's a lot more chaos in general, with social media, with politics, and the political scenarios, the political tensions, and also crisis, different kinds of crisis, whether it's jobs, with AI, with technology, and the way it is being used, and also with the food crisis, the water crisis. Like every other day you hear of a new crisis coming up, and that's going to also affect our future generations. So everything just feels a lot more at the edge. It feels like we're somewhere at the edge of an era, or of something is about to happen very soon. Not that I am predicting anything or making any predictions as such, but it does. I mean, don't you feel the same way that things just feel like a lot more at the edge? I don't know, at least for me, I feel that way. And during such a time, when you have to exist as a human on this planet, and you have to survive, and you have to work for a living, and you have to stay sane every day, because if you really are given to the insanity, I don't think you will be able to function, especially as empaths. You're so much more sensitive than a normal person, so all those energies are going to affect you. So if you if you don't know how to deal with them, if you don't know how to process them, if you don't know how to, build your inner sanctuary, your space within you where it's like aside and away from all the noise and all the craziness, then I think it's gonna be really hard to survive. And I think the time that is coming in future, things are definitely not gonna get easier for us. There seems to be more trouble coming for humanity, and I think as empaths we really need to protect ourselves, protect our energies, and also help the world, help others, help people in whatever way we can. So for that, I think it's very important for you to first protect your own energy, to first prioritize your own energy and your own system. So this is one thing that I wanted to talk about. Another thing is that I guess with all of this disturbance and all of this craziness, it's easy to feel like you don't belong. And this is a feeling that I've carried with myself all my life on this planet, that I've always felt like I don't belong here, that I couldn't relate to the behaviors, the trends and the actions of people around me, of societies around me, and I always felt like I was some other like I came from somewhere else. The rules were different. The rules were never made sense to me. So if you're an empath, you might feel the same way, because we are, like I said, we come with certain gifts to on this planet. We have certain abilities. I wouldn't say psychic abilities, but definitely we have some kind of mystical powers that sometimes even it's way beyond our own understanding. But we do have a sense that we are different from others in some way, just because we see things and we feel things differently. So you might also have this feeling that you don't really belong here, and if you have this feeling, just know that you are not alone. There are a lot of us who feels the same way, and it is not a wrong feeling. If you have this, if you feel this way, if you think this way, don't just dismiss this thought, don't discard it, don't abandon it, don't think that it is okay, it's a wrong thing to think, because it is coming from somewhere deep within you, and there's a reason you feel that way. So I would just say honor it, and maybe try to dig into it, try to go deeper into it, and try to ask questions and find out why you feel that way, and maybe it'll reveal things to you that you didn't know about yourself. So in my coming videos I will talk a lot more about this, a lot more about being an empath and surviving this current world, and how to really cope with overwhelm, how to actually use your gifts of empathy and see it as a superpower and use it to create a better world, to create a more awakened planet. I think that's your purpose here. So thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next video.